Welcome back to another episode of Granny Shifting, the podcast that takes the Fast and Furious movies and slows them down to one furious minute at a time.
This is minute 19. Thank you for joining us.
And I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
My other host. The other host.
With the hostess with the mostest.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, hey, it's Jesse from the original Fast and the Furious, and you're listening to Granny Shifting, the Fast and Furious podcast.
And we're getting into episode 19 right now.
Yes. And just for reference, our seasons match the movies. Our episodes match the minute. Wait, does it? Because we had like a bonus episode come out. Can we just call it bonus?
I put it in as a bonus, I think.
So it doesn't show up as an episode.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. I
So,
speak the truth.
Yeah. If you've never joined us before, thanks for joining us.
Quick recap. Brian and Dom are hanging in the shop.
Yes.
Just hanging out in the shop, literally from chains.
With the bros, you know.
Yeah. So
They're getting interrogated on the verge of tortured.
Yes.
I mean, hanging from chains around your wrists with nothing to stand on, that's torture.
Yeah, and things are about to get very interesting. So let's talk through this here.
All right. So the guy is talking. He says, I don't know how you do things where you're from, but here in Rio, I like to make sure that both parties know what they're up against.
So Rio, they're in Brazil?
Yeah.
I guess we knew that.
Yeah.
Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, because we saw the Jesus.
I didn't know. I thought that was like the Amazon rainforest, beautiful trees, the beaches, rivers, not a desert.
Yeah.
I thought that felt more like Arizona to me.
Brazil's pretty big.
That is true.
I wonder how big Rio is.
Yeah.
Should I bring up a map?
Oh, yeah. Pull up a map.
I'm going to have to figure out how to get this onto the video. Should I do that?
Oh, is it not going to show up? Oh, because you have capturing. Oh, boy.
This is...
All right, we're bringing it up. Bringing up the map of Rio.
Look at that. Perfect.
This probably isn't worth it.
Dude, this is so worth it. Oh, that didn't take long.
Well, you didn't get it yet. You just have Google.
Rio de Janeiro
A city in Brazil.
maps.
All right. I'm not seeing desert here.
Wait, we got to get
Turn on those layers.
terrain.
All right. Well, no. Turn that other one back on. I like that. Now zoom in on some of them brownish areas. Is that cities? Those are all houses.
All right, so Rio is a city in itself, right?
Yeah, and they showed you the outline. It's this whole peninsula. But they could have been brought here. Zoom out. We need to find...
Well, they were in Rio.
Oh, it was the Amazon River they jumped into.
No, it's
The rainforest has been deforested.
Guanabara Bay.
You think that's where they jumped the
This
car?
must be
There's the bridge.
There's the bridge.
No. All right, zoom out. We got to find a desert in Brazil.
Yeah, like all this is populated. Here, this looks like it's...
What's this?
That's
Airport.
like an airport.
All right. Well, they could have traveled here.
You know what we need to do?
Zoom out
We need to take...
so we can look at the map.
we need to look at train routes.
All right. It's
How
either
far?
houses or trees. Keep going. We got all
Farther?
Brazil here. I don't see a single desert.
Okay.
Do you? Everything is...
Here,
This
Sao
is
Paulo.
all Brazil. Oh, you know what? That's houses. Look out here.
No, this is desert.
No, zoom in. That's houses.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
They just have brown roofs, Ryan. Out here. Zoom out more. Look. Oh, north. Go north. Wow. Is this all
right.
Brazil?
Yeah. I mean...
Brazil? Wait a minute. How much of this is Brazil? It's not very well
here's
defined.
Paraguay, Uruguay.
Oh, over here. Chile is like deserts.
You think they're all the way in Chile?
That kind of looks like it.
Okay, so, but where they met Dom and Vince was in Rio.
Okay. Yeah, right there. Yep.
It would have taken days to drive here.
Well, Yeah, and that's
in
not
that little
in Brazil, so they would have had to cross borders. They can't cross borders.
No, absolutely not.
I'm not seeing the desert.
Yeah.
How about rivers? Turn this back to that was a pretty big lake. Yeah. See any rivers?
This is so hard to like look at. I don't understand topographics.
All right, so
we're not sure that was actually. What's all this out here? Is this forest?
No, farmland.
Yeah.
What are these blue things? Ponds?
Pools.
What are they? Lago?
It does say, yeah, that's lake.
Yeah, but what are they raising in these lakes?
Fishies.
No, not in water like that.
Look at all that.
But it's man-made because they're all rectangle lakes.
That's weird.
What is that? That's weird.
Oh, here's the desert.
Is that a racetrack?
What I was gonna say was, you know that guy that does like the
All right, get this off our screen.
All right.
I want to see
You know
your
that
beautiful
guy?
face.
You know that guy that does like he does the Google. What do they call that? Like geo.
Oh, yeah. He can
guessing?
place. You show him a picture and he can pick where it's at in the world.
We should show him a scene from that. A picture from that
But we
scene.
want to know if he's right. He'd pick a spot and be like, okay, could be.
Yeah.
If it's in Rio, then we'd be like, oh.
That's what we should do.
But they might have filmed it in Arizona. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. All right.
So they're in Rio now.
Yes.
And the boss in the suit says the way he does business is he likes to know what he's up against.
Yeah. And Dom says that's funny because it goes both ways.
Meaning what?
I mean, you know.
Like this sounds like sort of, it sounds like they're talking in like business talk, but it's like secret threats inside.
Right.
We like to know what we're up against. It goes both ways. Oh, and you're like, wait a minute. What do you mean it goes both ways? The only thing I thought maybe he's saying, well, we didn't know there was something special about the car. You're not telling us everything. And we like to know if we're getting involved in a heist that you guys are hiding something from us.
Right.
That's why we turned on you.
Right. Why didn't, I feel like Dom and Brian could get out of this. I mean, they could be honest and say, we didn't know that there was something special about that car. We were just here to heist 3 cars.
Right.
Your boy here
got shady on us.
Yeah. And we don't know where Mia's going. We can guess. Like, go get the car. Let's just get out of this.
She threatened him. Or he felt threatened.
Why can't they just say,
let's get you your car?
Yeah.
Like
we have the other 2 cars.
Who are they working for? Yeah, good point.
Well, they don't have the Corvette. They have the 1 car.
Yeah, but still, it's like they were in it for the cars. It's not like they work for the government. We're like, oh, we don't want you to get your drugs back.
Right.
Like, or whatever's in that car.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just really likes that car. Like, okay, you can have the car. Give us our money.
Can we just get out of this,
Minus
please?
a quarter, because we don't have the Corvette.
But it's just the toxic masculinity in Dom. Yeah. The alpha male.
Right.
Who just takes any sort of challenge and wants to, I'm bigger than this.
Face it.
I'm stronger than this.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I'm chained up and somebody could literally just kill me right now.
Yeah.
All right. So the guy approaches Dom and says, I hear your sister is very beautiful.
Yeah, he gets up pretty close to Dom.
Somehow he knows that Dom's sister is Mia. Was that how? It would be only this guy that met Mia.
Well, they probably did their research.
Okay.
And they probably knew who was involved in the heist. This part I find funny because I'm thinking, all right, Dom, don't do something stupid here. He's just trying to get under your skin.
Right. Obviously.
And Brian, they don't know that Brian's dating her. And Brian's hanging next to him, and he's like, tries to jerk. Like he's going to do something, but like he's literally tied up, hanging.
Right. They don't actually use it, though. Like, he doesn't, look over and be like, oh.
No, I know, but I'm like, what are you thinking? The worst thing you can do right now, Brian, is let them know that you also care for her.
Right. You would think all of his years in police training and police and then an FBI training and work at the FBI, he would know how to act when you're being interrogated.
Right. And about to be tortured.
Yeah. But they don't actually address that at all.
No.
It was just a terrible tell.
They're just showing us that he's got something on them, and Brian cares a lot. Because, if Brian didn't do that, we'd be like, does Brian not even care about Mia?
Yeah, I guess so.
And then we'd have to be like, well, remember, he's trained in interrogation.
Yeah. So he says, wherever she is, we will find her. That's what
the boss says.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boss and suits. Brian and Dom don't say a word.
Yeah. That's good interrogation tactics. They're waiting for their lawyer, probably.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But the boss walks out with his men, leaving, what, 2 guys behind?
I think it's just one.
We should point this out, though. The guy who we thought was the boss on the train, he lags behind for a few seconds, and he's kind of gazing towards them like he's deep in thought, and then kind of looks around like he's thinking, what do you think? It's almost like he's getting second thoughts. That's what I thought. Like, what are we doing here? Are we really going to torture these guys?
Well, I think part of it was probably like him trying to interpret what his boss wants him to do, because his boss doesn't say anything. He literally just walks out, and you're left with this guy, the boss man, not boss man.
So he's like the first mate.
Yeah, he gives a little nod. I know it's like barely noticeable to this mustached guy.
Okay, and then he leaves, leaving him to do the dirty work.
Right. So they're like, we want these 2 guys dead, but we don't want to make sure it happens. So we're going to all leave. We got 5 bodyguards. They're all going to leave. And we're going to leave this random thug
with
to
Brian
kill these guys. They
he's
literally
not going
close
to
the
kill
door.
him. He's not going to kill him. They don't want him to kill him.
Well, yeah, there's like 5 more movies.
They just want to... No. But like, that's not even the guy's intention, though, because they still need to figure out where the car is and where Mia is.
Well, they said they'll find her.
He's starting. I think he wants to torture them so that they'll give something up to him.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be a better first step than just like, you didn't answer? Boom, dead. Look, no. Let me like cut off your fingers.
Right, but why
with the claw of a hammer.
Right.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't
slowly
he
saw
stay for
off
that?
your legs with a small coping saw?
Like, this guy doesn't know that Brian and Dom are main characters.
Or
they're just 2 random guys.
Slice you.
I'm thinking about Saw and Hostel movies.
All right, what were you saying?
I've spent the last 15 years of my life blocking this images out of my brain.
Why did you make me watch this, Ryan?
I don't know. At the time, it was cool.
It is weird why people watch horror movies.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, do you like horror movies? I'm like, nobody actually likes them.
People do, though.
No.
Like, these movies come out and they want to be scared.
Yeah, so they like being scared? Nah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Maybe they like seeing how they can hold up against it.
Maybe, yeah.
Because if you're not scared, then it's technically probably boring.
Well, okay. Your wife might be offended by this.
Okay.
But
our patron? Oh, no. She's going to listen.
If only. To me, it's like seeing how hot of wings you can have.
Yeah.
It's just like, we named this one Thermal Volcano Explosion,
right.
you know? No. And we're like, oh, yeah, I wanted to see if I can handle that one.
Right.
And then you're like half a wing in and you can't taste or feel anything.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I actually really like these. I'm like, but do you? Like,
right. So I don't know if that's it. It might actually be similar to this, but I am told, or what I've heard, is that people actually get like addicted to super hot things. Like there's this like
tattoos
rush.
kind of.
Yeah, sort of. I think you get this little like is it endorphins? What are the things that make you feel good?
Yeah.
You get like a little rush of them from hot foods, but then you like need it to be hotter and hotter to get that. And then you like sort of crave that like hot tingly. You almost get like addicted to that. That's what I've heard, which makes sense because like people that love hot food, they like keep eating it, even though it's probably literally just irritating your mouth.
Yeah.
It's your body being like, hey, this probably shouldn't be going in here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you a warning sign. I'm going to turn your face red.
Right.
Okay, how about completely numb?
You're overheating.
Your eyes are watering and your nose is running now. Oh, still eating it.
What do you think as far as like horror movies go? Do you think there's any correlation to horror movies and the types of crimes that are committed, or the type of like
what?
So like as like people are, you know, have thoughts of hurting people on their mind.
Okay.
And they're like into dark things, and they like horror movies, and they watch this horror movie that's shows a guy
how feeds back into
how
real life.
he like captures and tortures people just for the thrill of it. And the guy's like, oh, that's a good idea. I could do that and probably get away with it. And you know what I mean?
I don't think that happens.
No?
No, I mean, people have been doing that crazy stuff since before horror movies were around.
No, I feel like back in the day, horror movies were just like, okay, this guy with a chainsaw just goes and cuts people up.
Yeah, but like...
Or like people just stab people. But now it's like the true crime.
Mr. Dahmer, he was doing some crazy stuff, and that was before weird horror movies were doing...
Yeah.
Maybe it would be like, oh, if I mix this body with lye, it'll break it down in the soil.
Mm.
But then you watch, I don't even remember what show I just saw, and they're like, well, the DNA will still be in the dirt for many years. I'm like, oh, shoot, can't do that.
Huh.
So, but I don't know. I don't think people will watch a movie. I think you got to be in a really dark place already.
One of our other patrons told me.
I think you're experimenting with... I'm guessing, like, when people get into the weird, violent stuff, they're probably experimenting with what they think. I don't think they're often copying. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you see some weird stuff. Like where'd you
Right.
come up? It's not like this movie came out and then you're like hearing, oh, man, here we go.
Right.
This guy's putting girls in wells again.
Right. I don't know. It's makes me wonder if
really?
People are seeing stuff and they're like, no. My wife and patron.
Okay.
She's like, I don't know why they keep coming out with movies like this, because it just gives people ideas.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like people might do it either way, but a movie is like, oh, that's exciting. You know what I mean?
Well, like, you're talking about like serial killer stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty rare occurrence.
Yeah, pretty rare.
And also, like, not somebody that watched a movie and thought, it's like this guy has a serious mental disorder that was taking him to that place anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
strange.
I would find it, I would think it'd be very surprising. Like, no normal person is going to watch a movie like that and it have any effect on them in their violent behaviors.
Yeah. I feel like there are two different, like, types of horror movies. There's like the violent, like
gore.
Yeah, gore, and then there's like the like
shock,
paranormal.
Oh.
Kind.
Okay.
There's like the slasher movies. Slash. Like the Saws and the Hostels, where I mean the first Saw wasn't, I mean they showed a guy cutting his leg off, but it wasn't overall, it was kind of just like it was kind of like a Black Mirror episode. The first one.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, we got to outdo that. You know, that's, people are used to that. Now we got to take it up. And I take it up and take it up. And then by the end, it's just like everybody getting killed in ridiculous ways.
Right.
Yeah. So it like starts off as one thing. And there's the other type of like paranormal activity or like demon possessed kids or whatever. Yeah.
See, I always thought like a lot of the horror people that were into it, a lot of it was like the shock of, you know, what you can handle.
Yeah.
Especially with like friends, like, let's go see this, and then you're like, oh man, look how scared you are. Or like, look how scared my girlfriend is, and now she's clinging to me, type of deal.
Yeah.
I do like suspense movies that have good endings.
Yeah.
Because there is something about that. Like, suspense can ride on the edge of horror, but when there is like a positive ending or like some crazy twist, you're like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, I never expected that.
That's like the end of Saw, when the dead guy was actually alive the whole time.
Spoiler alert.
But yeah, if I'm going to dedicate 2 hours of my life to something, it's not going to be watching a horror movie. Like, if I'm going to sit down and watch a movie, a horror movie will be the last thing. Sometimes I'm like looking for a movie and it'll say like the genre will be thriller. And I'm like,
Yeah.
That might be too close to a horror movie for me.
As long as the endings are good. I never saw this, but there's a movie called The Fog, and I was told the ending is it's like a horror movie, and the guy becomes so exhausted and the situation becomes so hopeless that there will never be an end and no one's coming to help him that he commits suicide at the end, and then like right afterwards the army comes through and they would have been able to save him. Something like that.
Yeah.
And you're like, no!
Right.
I hate that kind of ending.
Yeah.
You could have just changed this plot so slightly and the ending would have been awesome, and then I would have liked the movie. Like, right before he's about to give up, they come through and save him.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, happy endings. I hate movies with bad endings.
Yeah.
Especially when they didn't have to do it, you know?
Yeah, I just feel like I'm going to either just do like a straight action or a straight comedy, some version of both, and I'm pretty
like
good with that.
a good thriller if it has a good ending.
Yeah.
A positive ending, because there's this like intensity but overcome with like accomplishment that's satisfying, I think. You know, like Signs. That was a great movie, right? Yeah. They figure out the water kills, and then it's like, yes, right? Even though it was like intense and a little scary.
I mean, kind of stupid on the aliens' part to land on a planet that's 70% water.
They needed the gold.
Oh.
Why did they? Oh, well, we'll get to that next podcast. Not next week.
When we go through M. Night Shyamalan's movie minute by minute.
Who?
M. Night Shyamalan? He directed Signs and Sixth Sense and The Village, you know.
Okay. We should finish this minute.
Okay.
We're off the rails here.
And well, nothing happens the rest of the minute.
Yes, it does.
No.
Sort of. So the boss man gets in his car. His VW's. Volkswagen. Yeah, not very nice. Drives off, and then the mustache guy who got the nod from the first mate reaches down to his hip.
No, I think he's holding a gun.
Yeah.
I think he's about to lift up a gun and just shoot him.
Right. Did you go a second too far? Oh, in the same second.
We're still in the same second.
And Brian gets his crazy eyes. Which is the like, I'm about to fight for my life. Or fight for my girlfriend's life. Same eyes.
Yeah.
And that's the end of
that's where it ends. On that picturesque version of our beloved Brian O'Connor.
Rest in peace. Let us know if you like thrillers or horror movies and why. Maybe we're missing something.
Yeah.
Leave it in a 5-star review. Thanks for listening.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And always, always, always remember.
Winning's winning.